after that episode, I feel like the Valley's back on track a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like this was a setup episode, but really, the news that came from the Valley is not in the show, and boy, are we happy.
It's the best news ever.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Mr. McGillicuddy. What's up, Magoots?
Smell you later, Jax.
See ya.
Wow, what a loser.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, pal.
Now, look, did Bravo make the right call and fire him, or did he really step away to focus on himself?
Oh, get fucked. Bravo made the right decision for once when it comes to not bringing back a problematic individual. Because here's the thing, everybody. We can't... What do we always do?
I don't know.
When somebody leaves...
Back the wrong guy?
No. When somebody sticks around, we always blame Bravo for not getting rid of them, right? So in turn, we do have to give them credit for getting rid of somebody we didn't like.
It's true.
That's just how it goes. So Bravo, well done, finally. You made the right decision, and that big bag of douche is out of here. See you later.
It's really funny that this news dropped today because I had a crazy hot take.
Ooh, what?
My crazy hot take was going to be they need to get rid of Janet before they get rid of Jax.
The sad thing is you could almost argue that if it wasn't for like watching abuse on TV.
Yeah. It was really just to really let it sink in. Get Janet out of here too. But, beggars can't be choosers.
No, we'll take it. We will take it. I'm glad. I think that the landscape of the show is going to improve drastically. I think that we needed today's episode in a lot of ways because... it was a good episode for Brittany, and I thought that she handled herself well at the end. And we also had the beginning of addressing the Janet shit with Brittany via Dodie, and obviously we get the scenes from later, and Zach's going to get involved in that as well. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we needed this episode, and now we're able to move forward with a Jaxless show. Everyone's had their chance to kind of vent their frustrations, and then next season, I do think we're going to see a lot of people flourish because all that Jax does is bring us back to a familiar place, and we don't have any progression with this show.
Right.
We need to be able to move on to different storylines, to different phases of life, and I feel like because Jax is such a giant man baby, it just reverts back to chaos and shit when he's around, and this is a chance for people to blossom a little bit.
Yeah, I think this season kind of went through it too, because I don't want to go as far to say that this is a rewatchable season by any means, but it's an important season because there are important things that have happened throughout the season. Obviously, we don't want to rewatch the first 4 or 5 episodes, whatever it was that Jax was going through, and just abusing Brittany on screen because for whatever reason they were okay with watching or letting that slide and letting that be projected on our TV screens. I don't know why, but there were important things that happened throughout this season. Dodie getting, engaged.
Dodie getting engaged.
An incredible thing. And honestly, the turning point was Jax going away. Like, yeah, we still bitched about the little scenes where we got the Blair Witch Project from his hotel room. And otherwise, he wasn't really there to impact too much. Mm-mm. Now, he still impacts Brittany, which I'm a little scared about moving forward, even though he's not going to be on the show. I mean, do we think it's going to be, I guess if Bravo fired him, it's not going to happen this way, but is it going to be another rehab stint where he's there for 11 days and then he comes back to the Valley? If it was something where, they had some sort of handshake deal, like, all right, you're going to be off for now, work on yourself, and then you can come back. Because I'm worried about that too, moving forward season 4, where it's, all right, yeah, we want to see that you've actually changed. We want to see that you're not impacting Brittany, but this is kind of prime for Brittany's going to have a whole storyline. And I don't know if she will. Just based off of the way that she's been moving with the divorce.
Yeah.
She talks about dating other guys pretty quickly. It seems like if Jax simply isn't around, maybe there's going to be like a restraining order or something coming in the works. I don't know how that's going to work out. But Brittany next year could be the entire storyline is Jax is abusing me. Jax is reaching out to me. He's texting me constantly. He's doing all of these things. And then it's like, all right, you might have to get Brittany off the show because Jax isn't going to leave her alone if Brittany's still on the show.
And I think that's something that producers are going to have to sit down and talk about.
Yeah.
I'm not high on these producers at all.
No.
Obviously, I've said my piece about Alex Bagskin and Jeremiah penis nose.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah,
Good.
like that.
Yeah.
But
Bag skin. Gross.
it actually sounded worse than I thought it
Yeah,
would.
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but it's it's okay. It's applicable for him.
Yeah, I agree. But I would love to say that because we're getting rid of Jax this season because of a million different reasons. One, the problematic behavior on TV. Two, we've all been calling for his head, except for a couple random podcasts that stand for him, which is fucking bizarre. But I don't think that if you have any sense about you that you would even consider it, because the whole point of getting rid of him is to remove him from the show, remove him from focus, and point the show in a different direction. If you allow him to leave, I'm sure you have to sit down with Brittany and say, hey, I know that your real life involves dealing with Jax, but at least for the first half of the season, like
Let's
just
not
try
talk
not to
about
talk
him.
about him.
Yeah.
Something like that, which isn't totally fair, but at the same time, that's the only way. I don't want Brittany to get penalized because Jax got kicked off,
No,
but there
not
is that
necessarily.
there is that overshadowing of, is he still going to be a major presence because Brittany can't move forward?
Yeah. So if you're going to keep Brittany on the show, it's almost like you're not really getting rid of Jax.
Right.
So it's going to be more like, we won't have those little video diaries, but we're still going to hear Brittany, talk to Kristen, talk to Janet, talk to Michelle. If Michelle's still there, who knows what they're going to do with the cast moving forward. I do wish that they had this news a little bit earlier because I do think we would have looked at, now obviously the first, 3 or 4 episodes are deplorable, but I think we would have looked at the rest of the season a little differently. We would have been happy when he popped up because you could just make fun of him.
Correct.
You're not on the show anymore. And especially when he goes and talks to Zach and says, this is my show, we can all openly laugh because he's not even on the show anymore. Now we have to do it, in retrospect. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right, I guess so. But I wish that they had done that because I think we would have looked at this season as a whole a little differently because we were still worried that Jax was going to be pulling the strings, that Jax was going to be on the show moving forward. Now at least we have the finale and we've got the reunion to look forward to where we can all laugh at him because he's not on the show anymore.
I agree. So I'm excited for the future of this show. And I will say, we hit that lull, that rut in the middle. It wasn't even a lull. It was just tough to watch.
Right.
And not like, oh man, this is so like juicy. I need to see it. It was like, oh man, we shouldn't be privy to what's happening right now on the screen. They've rebounded well. The last few episodes, I think, have been
Hawaii
solid.
was great without him.
Hawaii was great. This episode was good with him because it was finally Brittany getting some retribution, like holding him in check. Watching him and Jesse as the sad divorced dads club, I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I think this is the only episode I've enjoyed with Jax, and that's because he finally got put in his place a little bit more. It was nice to see. But yeah, I think the future of the Valley it's going to be okay.
Do you think the timing was because of this episode, because of the end of the episode in particular?
Maybe.
Because it came out, the episode dropped last night and the news came out this morning. So it's like maybe the end wasn't what he thought it was going to be, or maybe in his own fucked up brain, he thought that was going to be more of a, everybody's going to see how bad Britney is to me, when in reality, everybody's online cheering Britney on for what she did and not being manipulated by him in that last scene. And now he's like, all right, yeah, okay.
Well, okay,
you guys can release the stuff now. Like, I'm out of here.
That's kind of what I think.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw a pity party for himself.
Yeah, we got
like
all
another
those.
person on this cast that's throwing a pity party.
We had a couple pity parties on this show. Should we jump in?
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, we start out with Danny, Nia, and Jasmine, and they are toying a playhouse, which is very sweet. And this is why LA, I could never.
$1.1 million.
That's nuts. That house was teeny tiny. It was nice. It was very nice. I'm not shitting on the house itself. Lovely place. That is not a $1.1 million home. It's smaller than their penthouse.
No.
They fell for the
get it.
pictures.
They fell for the pictures, which happens, honestly. You went through a whole housing crisis trying to find your house. You fall for the pictures. Even if it's an apartment, you fall for the pictures. It makes it look like a lot bigger, and then you walk in and you're like, where the fuck am I going to put a normal-sized TV?
Dude, we saw this one house in Glenside, and it was like, not like a compound, it was like an artist's compound, so it was like all these different buildings connected by like little segues and like tunnels and shit. It was so funky, and online it looked sick, and like one of the walls in the living room was like corkboard and like this cool pattern. It was really cool, and then we got there, and it was just janky as fuck. It looked like somebody was doing like an art project and built a house out of it.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for that one. The pictures will get you.
That's what happens. Look, I think this was, I don't want to say it was a fake scene, but I do think it was important to have Nia, Danny, and Jasmine in one scene where nobody else is there.
Correct.
To show like, hey, we can have a friendship and we can build upon it. Now, obviously, when Jasmine goes to her confessional, she's just talking about selling the house. She doesn't really like shed light on that, and neither did Danny and Nia. But it's just important for us to see, after all the shit that happened on the boat and all the things we've been hearing all season, that they can still be cordial and,
Correct.
be somewhat happy.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that it's really important after the episode we watched last week to show them in a normal setting.
Right.
And then I thought it was even bigger the fact that they brought it up. Like, I didn't think they were going to bring anything up because of the obvious.
Yeah.
But Nia brings up the whole Janet thing in Hawaii and how awful it was. I love that they call her Voldemort. That's fucking funny. But I was wondering what Jasmine's reaction was going to be, because part of me was like, yeah, this feels kind of weird. And when she does go to that one confessional addressing it, and I think that she said it kind of perfectly. She's like, I appreciate what Janet's trying to do, because technically she's trying to stand up for me. That's not what she's actually doing.
not what she's doing,
just
yeah.
weaponizing your trauma, which is fucking crazy. But she acknowledges that part of it. But then she goes to the more important part where it's like, we're trying to move forward. And every time you do this, it brings me back to that moment. It brings me back to those feelings. I don't like that. Danny and I have agreed to move on. Melissa and I, most importantly, we agreed to move on. We're trying to move forward. Janet, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I feel like every scene that we've gotten now in the last couple of episodes, really, after we said, all right, we do need to move forward, because we saw so many apologies. We saw so many times where Jasmine and Melissa were sitting down with Danny and they were saying, like, we can move forward. It's like, okay, great. Can we? Because we don't really want to continue down this path where we flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. But at the end of the day, it is Jasmine's experience. It's Jasmine's trauma. It's Melissa's experience. So if they do feel a type of way, they're going to let us know. They're going to let Danny know, because they've done this. And I think Danny just has to eat it at this point. And he has eaten it so far from what we've seen. But when Janet gets involved, it's like, you're not part of this.
Correct.
And it's important for Jasmine to also say, this is what we're doing. This is how we're handling it. And I feel like what we've seen from them from that scene with Danny, where they're talking about their experience as a lesbian couple, how they have to move forward, how they're scrutinized by all these people from in and out, looking at them in a different way. Now we're seeing, all right, we've moved past this. We have a lot to deal with. And we saw a scene a little bit later with the two of them where they're talking about moving forward. And they're talking about, freezing eggs and all these things that they have to do as a lesbian couple. So that's what they're focused on. They're not focused on the past anymore, but Janet is.
Yeah, which is crazy. And we get this juxtaposed to a scene with Janet, Michelle, and
Fucking Sheena.
Sheener Shea, one of the VPR parasites that just will not.
You think
go
Brock
away.
actually cheated on her? I don't.
I can't wait to. We're bringing back our news episodes, guys, because life is settling down.
Yeah, Love Island's over.
So we have time to do all of our member stuff, and Love Island literally took everything off the table.
Yeah.
But we're getting back to the business, and we'll get our news episodes out. And that's the first one we're going to talk about is the Brock cheating allegations.
I don't think he
They're
cheated
not even
on her.
allegations, because she said it.
They're not allegations. She said that it happened.
Yeah, of course I think it happened.
I think it happened. I think he cheated on her. I think the fact that she sat on this during
monetized it.
Couple seasons of VPR that were just awful, when she was going after all these other people for cheating and blah, 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 and talking about how she couldn't even imagine Raquel and Brock, but, she's thinking about it. It's like, he cheated on you like 4 years ago, lady. What are we talking about?
And he's got a weird relationship with Raquel, and he cheated in the past.
So I do believe he cheated on her, but I think whatever the fuck she's making, I don't think it's real. I think it's just her selling her book.
It's probably somewhere in the middle.
At least Brock's finally contributing to her financials
That's a good point.
by cheating on her.
That's a good
and
point.
selling the book.
By cheating on her, you helped sell her book. Nice job, Brock. What a guy.
Father of the year, though.
Yeah, sure. How's
Father of the century,
how's your
Jesus.
kids in Australia?
Oh, man.
Anywho, they're recapping Hawaii at Sheener's, and of course, the first thing that gets talked about, Janet says that Dodie brought up Danny and Nia.
Yep.
And said, I was attacking them. It's like, that's not what happened, but cool. Let's keep going down Janet's path of how things happened. When she says that, the whole conversation flips to like, well, Sheena's like, that's what Dodie does. She wants to hang out with the cool kids and she wants to be popular. I was
So
like, are you
crazy. That was
kidding me?
the wildest thing I've ever heard come out of Sheena's mouth.
And she said a lot of dumb shit, but
Yeah.
like, that's
It's
You. To a
It's
T.
you, yeah.
To an absolute T. You've been
was
doing
so
that
funny.
for 15. You're doing it right now on the show.
I had to because I was watching it and then like I don't know if my attention just drifted for a half a second because Sheena was on screen and I just didn't care. But when she had said the tail end of that, I'm like, was she talking about Dodie? Let me go back. Let me rewatch this. Yep, she was talking about Dodie. Okay, cool. It didn't matter who she was talking about specifically, but the fact that she's talking about Kristen Dodie, saying she just wants to be in with the popular crowd. That's what she's going to do. She's always going to flock and support them. She doesn't care about her friends. This doesn't make any sense.
Zero.
By the way, because her and Janet are not friends.
No.
So it's not like what Brittany's doing by abandoning everyone else to be Janet's friend.
Correct.
It's that Dodie doesn't like Janet. Janet did something that she really doesn't like, and she's going after her.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Sheena wanted to
Also, is Nia the popular kid? Like, now I'm really confused.
I think that's alluding to, like, you know, the Miss USA pageant, which, what is the pageant now? Is it Miss Universe or Miss USA? Because somebody got it wrong.
Somebody gets it wrong in the finale. I'm not really
then
sure. I think he says, like, Miss America or something.
Okay.
Jax does, and she's like, what?
Wrong pageant. I don't want to be.
I think it was Miss Universe.
Is it Miss Universe?
Yeah. Because I don't think there's a Miss Planet, right?
Miss Planet?
Yeah. Miss Earth. It just doesn't sound right, you know? There could be,
Universe.
but it just doesn't sound right. Miss Universe, I know
Well,
exists.
Miss World. would
Miss
be
USA
okay.
exists. So
Miss USA exists.
I think Miss World? Is that a thing? That doesn't even sound right.
Well-
I think we just go straight to Universe after.
Yeah, I think
countries.
so because, you know, as we know, at least for now, we're the
We're
only.
alone in the universe.
That's that's
crock
what's
of
going on
shit.
right now. It's the Fermi paradox, bro. If there's all these
We're in a
aliens,
void.
no, I saw that
Oh,
one too.
okay.
The Fermi paradox is if there is alien life out there, and if there is an infinite amount of planets, universes, and planets, galaxies, and everything that's in the universe, and now there's a potential multiverse theory, which isn't corroborated by any means, but a lot of people believe that.
Marvel. Yeah.
The Fermi paradox is if there is alien life and there's infinite possibilities, why have we not seen it yet? Mm-hmm. Alluding to the fact that we may actually be alone in the universe, which is a scary thought. Miss Universe, what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Did I fuck your brain up?
No, I feel like if we haven't had contact yet, it's because they already saw us. It's either one of two things. Weirdly, we're already the most technologically savvy species in the universe.
That we
or,
know of.
That we know of. Or they already have seen us and they're like, I don't know. Oh, no.
Well, there's the third
No
one.
thanks.
The third one that's coming
Those
out
losers?
recently. There's whistleblowers in Congress that are talking about alien bases underwater. The fact there's these drone footages that are wild. And it's like, it almost looks like that scene from Star Wars. You know that one drone that like Boba Fett uses?
Yeah.
And there's like, and then it goes invisible.
Yeah.
It looks like the invisible version of that, and it's going right over a U.S. military base, and it's U.S. military footage.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, that could be like technology
Sure,
from another
yeah.
government,
Red flags
but
or false flags. But
false
yeah.
flags. But there are whistleblowers in Congress that are saying, "I've seen the information. I've seen." There was a UFO crash where the guy in Congress was literally sitting there testifying and said, "I saw an organism that was not of human origin."
Mm-hmm.
So, do with that what you will.
Yeah, what are they distracting us from?
Yeah, what's the real
Yeah,
story?
they're distracting us from something.
Well, then pick something.
Bears on the moon now? What are we doing?
No, I mean, there's a lot more they're trying to
Space
distract from
bears.
at the moment. Space bear sounds terrifying. Let's get back on track. That was a hell of a tangent.
That was a very niche reference.
Yes.
Whitest kids you know. You ever seen that?
That was, oh my God. That,
I was also going to say Earth is just like Stephen Glansberry. We're just over there eating our lunch
Stephen
alone.
Glansman.
There's Glansberry.
Glansberry. Oh, Glansman Subaru.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's my neighbor.
Docs.
No doxing. You guys don't know where I'm at.
Let's get back to the show.
Okay, cool. Miss Universe. We'll go with that for now. We will correct it when we know better. But the craziest thing that I thought was said was, this isn't Kristen's problem. Michelle says that. It's like, it's not Janet's problem either, by that logic. So what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
But we jump back to Jasmine, Danny, and Nia, and that's when Jasmine's like, me and Melissa are so done with this. We just want to move forward, blah, blah, blah. So this should be cut and dry. It should not be brought up anymore. The people that were affected by it have decided that they would like to move forward. Mm-hmm. We should all move forward. The show itself should move forward.
Yeah.
So hopefully, after this season. We don't have to fucking hear about it anymore. But I'm sure Jed will find a way to bring it up.
It'll be an entire reunion episode.
Oh, it definitely will. Yeah. But I don't hate that.
Well, actually, I don't really know because they filmed the reunion so early.
Yeah, but it's been like...
They talked about it. I mean, they knew it was a big hot button issue while they were filming, so they know about it.
I imagine they talked about it.
It's going to be kind of weird, actually. We're going to have to keep track of that for the reunion, what actually gets brought up and what doesn't. Because, God, they probably would have already filmed the reunion, too, if Jax, maybe they knew that Jax wasn't coming back at that point.
Just watching you work through it right now.
Yeah. I think the space stuff really got my brain
moving
in the wrong direction away from reality TV.
I've got Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson right here if you'd like
I'm not really in a hurry, though. You know, I like sitting here.
No, it just more so dumbs it down for like normal people so we can understand like physics and stuff. But anyway.
Read that after.
It's a great read. I'm not going to lie. But Dodie and Luke... They're talking babies, which obviously that's been their journey this season, and it would be a lot tougher to watch if we didn't know that she had just delivered a beautiful baby.
Yes, it
so
would.
This is actually, I like watching.
The doctor saying the golden egg really got me going.
Me too. I was like, that's going to happen.
I really loved that.
Well, especially because you know what happens.
Yeah,
so
I think that's why, yeah.
What's the timing, do you think, of like the golden egg statement to when they got pregnant?
Maybe. I've been holding out hope that she was going to find out that she was pregnant at the finale.
I think I want that to happen.
No, because Nia still isn't announcing that she's pregnant.
It would time up, though.
It would. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, me too. That'd be cool to watch. But
the funny thing would be like a big reveal at the reunion, like, yeah, she's pregnant. It's like, we know.
Oh, well, that wouldn't hit us hard. I want to see it happen in the moment. Yeah. But they just got back from a doctor's appointment. Luke got his boys checked, and he's got a good swimmer, so no issues there. And it's just, it's tough to watch Dodie go through all this. Like, I feel really bad because then it always goes back to her age and her body, and she blames that. And so it's just the amount of pressure she puts on herself is sad. It's sad to see, but
at least she has a good friend in Nia who already went through this.
Correct.
Before her first child.
Yeah.
So it's somebody that she can lean on. And I feel like I always love those conversations that the two of them have.
Same.
And they have one later in the episode.
They seem so real.
It just seems so real and it's so grounded. It's like, wow, this show is a flying circus. Mm-hmm. And then randomly you'll get a scene in the middle of it where it's like, wow, this is great.
How heartwarming.
This is nice.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. But Jax arrives, thank God, and apologizes for leaking the fact that they got engaged 10 minutes after it happened. It's
Did he leak it? I mean, he told Schwartz.
He told the group chat.
Oh, yeah, he did tell the group chat. Okay, yeah.
He texted Dodie, congrats.
Yeah, and texted the boys group chat.
Yeah.
That fucking boys group chat. We knew it was going to be a problem.
Gets everybody in trouble.
Just gets everybody in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Those boys group chats. No.
No.
And you get the most, like, half-assed Jax apology. It's so standard. You know, he's
brought
like...
the orchid that Schwartz gave him.
I didn't even see that. I was writing down.
He gave them an orchid. Remember?
Fuck out of here. Yeah, I remember the orchid Schwartz gave him.
Yeah, so he brought them an orchid because Dodie says, I've never been able to keep an orchid alive. And Luke says, thank God I'm here now. That's great. Love that. But he definitely just brought the orchid that Schwartz gave him.
Without a doubt.
Which is the most Jax thing of all time.
That's so funny. And he's going through it, and he's like, Brittany was being nice to me finally, and I didn't want to throw her into the bridge. Freudian slip.
Uh-huh.
That was... Yeah, I would like to say it's because he's dumb, but I think his brain was thinking other things. But
yeah, what's he doing under that bridge?
I don't know. But I'm so sick and tired of the same sob story where he's trying to use his relationship with Cruz to garner sympathy from us, the audience, because he's like, I'm going crazy. I haven't seen my kid in days, and you know how hard it is to not go to bed with my son in the house. And it's like, you did this to yourself.
Yeah,
I'm going to get into it more later, but you can't keep pointing fingers at Brittany and other people.
I just love the sob story to people who like Britney and talk to Britney all the time.
Yeah.
As if they don't already know what's going on.
Especially Dodie.
Yeah. And Dodie's doing a good job, and she's done a good job since he's gotten out of his facility to just kind of like hear him out at least, which is really just good service to the fans because we get him talking and you can catch him in so many different lies and you can catch him in so many different things of bullshit that it really warms my heart. Like, hey, this guy's a piece of shit. Dodie's actually letting him talk and not cutting him off. So he's actually just spewing more and more lies. It's like, okay, this guy really does suck.
He really does. And it's proof every time he opens his mouth. And the way that he's going about this whole thing is crazy. He's trying to blame other people for his relationship with Cruz. And we've seen scenes from later in the episode already in this episode So for him to say, I don't give a shit about us or me, it's all about Cruz. You lied in the same episode.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. But let's get to...
I'm sure it destroyed him to have Luke sit there and try to give him advice.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
God, after last season, I can't imagine what's going through Jax's head. He's like, I got to bite my fucking tongue right now because if I say anything to Luke, I'm going to look really bad.
Yep.
You already look terrible.
You look horrible.
Yeah, you can't really renew your image at this point, buddy.
Nope. But we got Dodie, Brittany, and Zach in its little James May photo shoot. And Jax has fully moved out of the house, which is good news. We're moving in the right direction. And she's like, yeah, now she's talking about it. Her phone's blowing up, and it's Jax calling and texting and says, I need the code for the Ring camera because I just got one and I'm getting it installed at my house. If it's a separate Ring camera,
Separate account.
it's a separate account. Mm-hmm. What the fuck are you talking about? And I'm glad that Brittany didn't, in the past, we would have seen Brittany entertain the idea.
Right.
Now we're at a point, and this is when I finally got confident that she is moving on. She's like, no, what? Go fuck yourself, and hangs up the phone as he's screaming at her.
Yeah. Maybe if he hadn't done so many things. I mean, how many times do we have to talk about the cameras in the house?
Ugh.
It's just insane. So finally it clicked where she's like, no, he's just trying to get access to the cameras again. It's like, thank you.
Great.
There you go. We could have said that 6 episodes ago, but all right. Yeah, sure.
We got
Probably should have locked him out a long time ago. You could have probably done that. Change password. I don't know. Who knows?
He doesn't need to change the password. He doesn't have the password.
Yeah, exactly. So who's to say? Who knows? But it's just laughable. And then he tries to yell at her on the phone.
Yep.
Now, if we're to take his word, there's a technician there from Ring setting up his camera.
Right next to him. He's right
next
fucking
he's
there.
Right fucking here. I'm going to yell at my ex-wife on the phone. Makes that guy really uncomfortable.
He probably would do that, though.
He would, yeah.
So, yeah, that's not unfeasible.
I'm just assuming he probably ordered it, and he's like, oh, this is a great opportunity.
Don't you... I don't have a Ring camera.
I think
Don't
Amazon
you install
owns
it
Ring now.
yourself?
I thought you did.
It's not a hard process.
No.
You stick it to the fucking door and you log in.
Or you screw it in or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't...
The technician, get the fuck out of here. I didn't even think about that till now. Like, what are you installing? Security?
Oh, dude, he's probably putting cameras throughout the house. This is probably... I've really often wondered why they have so many cameras in their house. It's kind of weird.
You know why. Because when he's doing weird sex stuff, he wants to document.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Thanks.
But Dodie and Brittany get into the Janet stuff. And actually, Brittany brought up Hawaii, so I was a little surprised there, knowing where she stands. I thought and was hopeful. I was like, oh, is she going to talk about her role in this Janet, Dodie, Brittany triangle? Because that would be really nice for her to acknowledge it.
It's actually pretty ignorant for her to bring it up.
Yeah, that's what
and then not expect to get dragged into it.
That's my point. Yeah. That's my exact point.
I thought you were just going to skate it. You already said like 15 times, I only have 5 minutes. I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up Cruz. I got things to do. Instead, you're like, hey, let's talk about Hawaii. It's like, whoa, that's a loaded topic.
But I thought that it was positive because I'm like, oh, she's going to talk about it. And then she skirts it. She does at least say,
yeah,
Danny apologized and Jasmine's moving on. So we should move on. And I'm like, all right, at least you acknowledge that part of it. But then in her confessional, she's like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I just want to, not step on any toes. I'm just trying to get out of here.
Yeah, it's like she immediately regretted even saying that part.
I think so.
No, that's the correct response, Brittany. So for a second there, we had some hope for you. There's a lot of different instances throughout the last couple episodes where we had a little bit of hope for Brittany. And we're like, ooh, that's a good point. Good job. I hope you truly believe that confessional. I don't believe anything that I just said in that episode. Okay, great.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Let's get to Jesse and Jax, the sad dads club. Man.
Just going up all those stairs.
That was so funny. He kept complaining about stairs. It's like you bought a fucking,
dude, your heart needs exercise.
You do.
Not, from the normal exercise that you would be doing. It needs good exercise. So you should be going up and down those stairs.
For cardiovascular health. Absolutely. You want to be around for your son. You got to hike up them stairs.
Does he?
I don't think he gives a shit.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he cares. I think that it's just something he can't have, and that pisses him off.
Correct.
Yeah. But they're talking about their lives now, and they get up to the roof, and it's genuinely funny when he points to the other roof. And he's like, that's Schwartz's house. He lives right next door. And Jesse's like, oh, he's pretty much your roommate. He's like, don't say that. It's like, that's what you wanted.
Dude, don't say that.
That's what you wanted, Jax. So you're trying to convince us otherwise, but you're stoked that Schwartz lives right there. And Schwartz is probably weirdly stoked that you live right there.
I can't tell if Schwartz is stoked or not. I think Schwartz is
He wants us to believe he's not.
correct. Yeah. He's such a pushover, though. I feel like deep down somewhere, he's like, I can't believe that I'm in this situation.
Oh,
But he
definitely.
doesn't show it
Think
ever.
about his life previously. He was married to Katie, who was thriving.
Yep.
He is now in his 40s, living next to Jax Taylor in a condo alone.
I'm assuming as soon as Sandoval sells that house,
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. They're going to make
that
a show
block
out of
is
that.
going to be hot.
They're going to make a show out of that.
No, maybe
Sad
not.
Boys Club.
Yeah. Sandoval's dad's involved somehow.
We already mapped this show out before.
We did. It's coming to fruition.
Well, they live in the
didn't
same
want it
place
to,
now. Because
I
what did we
know.
say? We said get them an area with like 4 duplexes across from each other in a little courtyard. And they all live together.
Can you imagine being the president of the HOA over there?
Oh, God. Good luck.
Oh, boy.
Good luck. But Jax brings up Brittany dating. And he's like, she's moving on so fast. It's like, not really. Not in the grand scheme of things. She's just finally taking the blinders off and trying to get her life on track. And then he brings up the son stuff again. And you get a confessional and you get this sad fucking music. And he's like, I can only see him when she says. And like, she holds this over me. It's like, you are responsible for the lack of a relationship with your son. You're responsible for it because of your behavior before you went to quote unquote rehab.
Yeah.
And you're much more responsible for it after getting out of rehab and not doing anything to better yourself and not making him a priority. If he was really a priority, you would go to Brittany and say, hey, what can I do?
Yeah.
Tell me what I can do so I can show you that I'm ready to be a dad. But instead, you got a haircut, you got Botox, and you screamed at your ex and the mother of your child.
Yeah, pretty much. I figured this was just going to be a more of the same scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like anytime that Jax shows up and he's talking to one of his friends or somebody else or whatever it was, he's not going to say anything new. We're not going to get any new information out of him. He's just trying to spew this at this point. And instead, it turned into what I didn't expect, which was Jesse talking about his divorce.
I got a lot of questions.
I have so many more questions. I
Lot of
thought
questions.
like we handled isn't the right word, but I thought we had it handled. We had a handle on
Handle
it.
on
at least. And it's not at all what I thought. There are so many more nuances. And it starts with Michelle didn't actually file, which
Didn't
might be true, might not be
didn't
true.
correctly file.
Didn't correctly file. I thought his answer was going to be, so technically we're still going
That's
to be
what I thought,
married.
too.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's actually kind of funny. Instead, it's we're going to have to go through the entire process over again, do the whole thing from scratch. And we find out that he took $300,000 out in a loan because we get another juxtaposed scene where then they go back to the Sheena scene for whatever reason. I guess it was a double serving scene. He took out a $300,000 loan in his own name, which again, I never know who's lying or who's telling the truth. With
I believe this one.
I believe this one. And yeah, he pretty much comes out and says, yeah, the housing market was spiraling. I didn't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, so you took out a $300,000 loan to live your lifestyle still.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how you go bankrupt. And I definitely believe Michelle. And I also, like California, I don't know, we're not lawyers, as you guys know.
We've heard a lot of weird rules with California from, Doute and PK to
Yeah, I
now
do.
this.
I believe that 50-50 state is correct.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that also entails if you take out a loan, you're both responsible.
married, yeah.
That's what Michelle's saying, and she's refusing to pay any of it. Nor should she, by the way, because he took the money and stuck it in his own personal account.
And I
Now she's on
imagine
the
he
hook.
took this out like when they were about to get divorced.
More than likely, yeah. Yeah, so now she's on the hook for $300,000. He's using it to live it. Now we know how he bought all those flowers alone. That's the thing, though. That's what's scary for this guy. It's like, dude, if you're willing to spend however much on 5,000 hibiscus petals,
Yep.
you shouldn't do that with loaned money.
No.
That's crazy. I feel
Definitely
bad for
not.
Michelle, man. Because like this scene, I already felt like I was much more team Michelle than team Jesse, like all season. This one, it reminds you that, okay, we're watching a show and, they get heated, they go back and forth, but we're like, oh, they're wacky and they're both kind of mean to each other. And then it's like, oh, fuck, there's like real world implications with this divorce to the tune of at least $300,000.
At least, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get to Danny and Nia for a very sad scene and a very fucking mean doctor. I don't like this guy.
Yeah, I didn't like this doctor.
I didn't like his
What's
hair.
with
I don't like his
plastic
vibe.
surgeons, by the way, like when the assistants walk by, they're always like really good looking. And then the plastic surgeon, like,
Looks like a troll.
yeah, he just kind of like waddles in there. He's like, oh, let me tell you what's wrong with your body.
Yeah, he's like greased
You're
back.
disgusting.
Yeah, like greased back, long
Yeah.
hair, and like a 5 head.
I didn't like it.
I wouldn't be so mean if he wasn't so
I'm
mean.
surprised she didn't go to Terry Dubrow.
Oh, see, I wouldn't have minded a Terry.
I would have loved a little Terry drop.
I wouldn't have minded a little Terry in there, but she's going through her baby post baby stuff again, and do they want another baby? And she's talked to the audience about this before in confessionals. You know, she doesn't feel like herself, and she doesn't feel comfortable or happy in her own body, which, you know, she deserves to feel that way. So she's stuck between, do we have another baby? Do I get my mommy makeover now? So they go for a consultation to see where they're at. And this guy inspects her breasts, and he's like, all right, well, and I thought he was going to be nice about it.
Yeah, you would imagine. And now I get like plastic surgeons. This is probably how they make a living, is by insulting you, essentially.
That's what I think happened, yeah.
And then it makes you want to do it. And it's like, this is a consultation. This is just like,
For a mother that's insecure about her body post 3 children.
Yeah, it's definitely a grimy industry. I will say, Danny's getting a little bit better at handling these situations.
This was good.
The end of it was, he still slipped in you know me, I think you're beautiful. I think you're the most beautiful woman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, all right. But then he recovered quickly. It's like,
Because
all
he
right,
says,
good.
but this is about you and how you
Yeah.
feel.
So
and
he's
you know,
learning, which
he's
is
getting
good.
there.
We love to see people learning and growing. That's important. So
that's a
I
big
think he
part.
handled it really well at the end, but he still had to slip one in there where he's like,
You're a babe.
no, I think you're the absolute most sexy girl in the world. It's like, all right. But I love you, and I want you to feel good in your own body. Okay, there you go.
There it is.
There you go.
Nice
Stuck
job,
the
Danny.
landing. I'm not really sure what you were doing up in the air, but you know, getting there.
Yep. And then Dr. Nefario is inspecting, and he goes, well, you know, we could do this, but that's for people with perkier breasts.
Yeah.
Now, there is an extreme, okay? And I thought he was going to be like, there's an extreme. We're not there. Don't worry about it. He's
Yeah.
like, there is an extreme, and you're on the cusp, but you're past that.
Yeah,
You're definitely past that.
You're past it. You're double extreme.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, you, as
What
a,
a shithead.
well, as a guy that does this, you have to imagine he does mommy makeovers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were a nice doctor, you would say, like, oh, we'll get you back feeling good. Like, totally fixable. Don't worry about it. Don't get into the, like, details of it. But instead, he does exactly what I think you said is, let me insult you.
Selling point. Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to do this.
He gives me the vibes of like a woman walks in with back problems because her boobs are too big. And he goes, I think we can go bigger.
That's exactly
That's
it.
who this
That's
is.
this guy. Not big enough.
Have you ever thought about boobs on your back? Really balance it out. That's what this guy does.
There's more boobs. Oh, who'd you go see? Oh,
Cutting edge.
Dr. Boobs? Oh, yeah. Fuck that guy. But anyway, I did enjoy Danny being supportive, and I always feel for Nia in these scenes because what you get from Nia always is authenticity.
Yeah.
She's always genuine. She's going to tell you how she feels, and she's good at telling you how she feels. So I feel for her, and like I'm glad that like she had they kind of everything worked out. We got Santa Clarita House.
Yep.
We got baby number 4.
Hopefully the surgeons out in Santa Clarita are a lot nicer.
I would hope so.
It's not LA.
At least not in LA, you know. And then now she can get her mommy makeover and feel comfortable in her own skin again. So win, 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 win.
Yeah, from where we are, it seems like everybody win.
Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. But let's get to Janet and Jason for what a
scene was
bizarre scene.
Unreal.
I enjoyed it.
This was the funniest scene.
I really enjoyed this scene. I was
Holy
floored.
shit. Yeah, because nobody's going to see through this and be like, you're doing this because Dodie brought up a rumor about him not having a ring.
Jason, who seems adamantly against getting a tattoo, is now marking his body permanently.
By the way, it's not even cool. It's not even like you
No.
got like a fun little, like, it's Janet's name or her initials or something that like signifies their love. He got a fucking ring.
He got actual ring on his finger.
Tattoo ring on his finger.
Yeah.
That is awful.
Corny as fuck.
That is so stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It was so dumb. But Janet, who has 4 tattoos somewhere, I don't like. Are they the little ones on the forearm?
She's got like a like the clover on her ankle or something.
Like that kind of
type
vibe.
of
That's
shit,
what I think. I don't know if she has a big one or not, but
The infinity sign or something like on her foot.
the script right here,
Yep.
Sheena Shea, it's all happening.
Yep.
Like something like that. If she has a big one, okay, fine. But the way she's talking is like she is covered in sleeves because she's like, you know, this would be my 4th, and if like this is what it takes to get
Therapeutic.
Jason in here, yeah, I like the pain.
It
that
doesn't
kind of
hurt at all.
It's that kind of vibe where, and I know people like this because I'll tell you flat out, like, yeah, this shit hurts. Like
Yeah.
I'm covered in tattoos, but not great.
No.
You know, I know so many guys that are like, oh, I kind of like the pain. I'm like, yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Freak. Shut up.
You don't sound cool and interesting.
No, you sound like you're into S&M and weird shit. But Jason's getting his ring tattoo. I will say this. If it's like a 5 to 10 minute tattoo, it doesn't hurt. It feels like a little uncomfortable. It's not bad. He is wincing. He is squirming. He says fuck for the first time
in his entire life.
Jinx, you owe me a magic mind.
All right, fair enough.
But he's acting, you would think he's getting his spine tattooed. And for those that don't have it, bones, that's where it sucks the most. Bones and pits. So like your armpit, your elbow pit, that's where shit really gets bad.
Armpit?
Oh, a lot of people have that. You haven't seen that?
Armpit tattoos?
Mm-hmm. If they're going to complete, like if they have work here that goes into the back, they'll get the full thing. Yeah. Wow. I would never. No fucking shot. Mine goes up to here, and that was like excruciating.
Got shivers.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not fun. But that's what he's acting like. He's acting like he's getting his armpit tattooed or something horrible, and he gets it done, and then his fucking speech. And also, of course, he's never said fuck before. Like, that's the most unsurprising news ever. Yeah. He probably says freak or fudge.
Yeah. Ugh, fudge.
Ah, freak. That's the vibe I get from him.
What the freak's going on over here?
Ah, cheese and rice. Oh, anyway. He gives his little speech in the confessional now that he's got a tattoo. And he's like, look, getting a tattoo doesn't make you a man, but it does make you feel like more of a hard man. Did you say hard man?
I thought that like he did. He said hard man, and I really thought that I thought the confessional was going to keep going.
I did too.
Just stopped.
Yeah,
that's all he had to say. Why was that even confessional worthy?
Because it was fucking
show
funny.
him such a loser.
Yeah, to show him such a loser.
Show him as such a loser. Like
I think the first one actually works.
Show him such a loser. Yeah,
that's like old English.
Like clatter. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the roof, such a clatter.
There you go. Yeah, that was Christmasisms. Mm-hmm. Nicely done.
That's what we're doing here.
That's what we do.
Thanks for that little lifeboat. But yeah, I really genuinely thought there was going to be more to that confessional.
So
like
did I.
I thought it was going to be all bullshit. Like it's really bringing me and Janet back together. It's not back together. I didn't cheat on her. I'm just saying, like, it brings us closer. I mean, not closer. We were already really close.
I'd never take my ring off.
I don't take my ring off, but now I really can't. Like, that's what it was. He legitimately said, I can never take my ring. Now, if I have my ring off, I don't have my ring off because it's tattooed on my body. It's that's
Stay
it.
away, ladies.
Jesus, Shakespeare. Like, what the fuck?
It was so good. I loved it.
Yeah.
Not for the reasons that he did, but it was funny as shit. And I will say this. All right, I'll be honest about this.
People are mean online?
People are mean online. Okay, and I don't like Janet at all.
No.
But reading that stuff, as we know from experience, like most of the time you brush it off. Every once in a while, one will sneak through and kind of sting you a little bit. That can't be easy. Okay, I do have some sympathy for her. My issue is she doesn't do herself any favors whatsoever. So it's like hard to have a whole lot of sympathy, but there is some because online bullying sucks. I think Bravo did some online bullying by showing the comments.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask is the way that I viewed that was you didn't really need to show those comments.
No, we knew what was going on.
So at first I'm like, oh, great. Here we go. Redemption arc. We're throwing a pity party for Janet. Is this really what we're going to do? I don't believe anything she's saying because even when she goes back and she even brings up the fact that people are saying that she's a fan online. Like, that is not hurtful. I'm sorry. There are some very mean things that people have said about Janet online that I've seen. And there is a line somewhere in there where you don't want to cross it. But people online, they can hide behind things and whatever. For her to just single that out was the biggest crock of shit. Because we get to see the clip once again from last week where Kristen is calling her a fan and she's laughing at it.
Yep.
So don't do this. Just don't. If you want to do it and say people are being mean online, fine, go for it. But you singling that part out is brutal.
It's brutal. And, once the sympathy wears off and I start watching the scene, what's happening, it's like, look, Dodie has explained multiple times, we at home understand, Jason didn't take his ring off. Nope. And if he did, it was not nefarious by any means. Maybe he got, caught, adjusting it or...
It was a nothing rumor just thrown out there just to say, hey, don't throw stones.
Yeah, stop talking shit about my friends and I'll stop bringing up dumb rumors from the past. That's all it was. This rumor has gone to the point because you and Jason decided to have a powwow and sit down and say, you know what, we're not over this. Yep. When you were over at Sheena's house, I think, way back. Yep. And we are going to make this a big deal to the point that Jason's now got a tattoo because of a rumor that Dodie didn't even mean.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Because you guys are so insecure about this thing, or you guys are so stuck on having some kind of relevant storyline, even though this one said goodbye weeks ago, that you're still talking about the ring, and then you're going to take this moment where you're trying to be heartfelt with your husband and convince us that you guys actually like each other, and you bring Dodie up and you say that she's reading the comments and regurgitating them.
Which she's not.
No shot.
There's just no way. That,
People
she
are
has her
watching
own
Dodie and repeating what she's
Correct.
saying.
Yeah.
It was just, it didn't land nearly what they thought it was or how it was going to. And it's just really tough. It's tough to watch. I did feel bad. Here's when I only felt bad, like actually felt bad, is when she's saying, like, I'm afraid that one day, and this is double-edged sword, like one day you're going to wake up and you're going to see me how everyone else sees me. I was like, that's really sad. And I do believe she feels like that. At the same time, if everybody's telling you that you're like this, can you not look inward?
Well, the silver lining here is she's referring to last season's comments,
Okay.
which everybody was wondering why Jason is with Janet.
Yeah.
Good thing to come from this season is nobody is fawning over Jason anymore.
Yeah, no, we get it now.
We understand why you're together, so you don't have to worry about that. He's not going to go anywhere. Nobody's going to steal your man because nobody wants your man.
Right.
He's a loser too.
Yep.
So that's good, guys.
Problem solved.
Focus on the fucking positives.
Don't get-
the freaking positives.
Don't get tattoos because you're insecure about a rumor nobody believes.
Yeah.
But that's the funniest part. He will forever be reminded.
Now I believe the rumor. Now I think that he was cheating on her.
Now it's a little harder to not believe that.
You guys this didn't land at all how you thought it was, but it's also going an extra mile because now we're saying, holy shit, he actually got his fucking ring tattooed on his finger.
Bridge too far.
That's incredibly insecure. Why are you so insecure? Because of Dodie and because of people online? Not buying it.
Bad look.
Might be more there.
And every single time for the rest of your life, when you look down at your hand, you will be reminded of Kristen Dodie.
Yeah.
That's fucking
You
funny.
just got her face tattooed on your finger. That would have been funny.
You pretty much did.
That actually, I think that would have been really funny.
I mean, he would have
Dodie's
moved
face.
up just
Oh,
like right
man.
there. He would have moved up in the book a little bit.
Hey,
but
since you're so concerned about my ring, I got a reminder.
I would be on board with that.
That would be funny.
He would get a lot of points from
It
me.
would be bizarre, but it would be a lot funnier than
But instead, he gets to look at his ring tattoo and be like, oh, Dodie.
Yeah.
What an idiot. But let's get to this wonderful scene between Dodie and Nia, and they're talking babies. And it's been just about a year since Kristen had her miscarriage. So obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of emotions there. And we start to get some happier stuff, you know. It's the serendipitous moment that the OB that Dodie's going to actually works with the doctor that helped Nia get pregnant.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool to hear. I think this is the golden egg scene.
This is the golden egg scene.
Yeah, so that makes me really, that's the funny thing. I know that they got pregnant and had a baby.
Yeah.
When these scenes happen, I'm actively rooting for her to get pregnant still.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
God.
in a way, I still am rooting for it. Or at the very least, I'm saying, hey, just hang on a couple more weeks.
You got
You're going to
this.
be good. And it's very funny that the two of them are talking about this and either they're both pregnant, one of them's pregnant, or they're about to both be pregnant. Whatever it might be, it's still just really funny and really nice. It's funny in like a heartwarming way.
Yeah, and it's nice to see somebody, because we see Nia be heartfelt a lot, and we see Dodie, since she's been on this show, has been very good at having conversations with her friends. But it's nice to see Dodie sitting there, not talking over Nia venting about everything going on with Danny, the house, her body, the baby. And Dodie gives little comments, but allows her to speak and just like, it literally took like Nia took a big shit after that in a positive way.
She just looked so much happier.
Yeah, lighter.
And she even said it. She said it's so nice to be able to talk to somebody else about this instead of Danny.
Yeah, and it was nice to watch. I know that, but let's do it. Let's do it. I've been waiting for this scene for about 12 episodes.
I just can't look. Jax is going through so much. I just can't believe that Brittany did this to him.
I know. Why? What an asshole Brittany is for doing this to Jax, right?
Trying to better himself. Oof. I don't even think you can do it with me.
I don't think I can.
I thought you could. There's a little bit of hope in there.
I was close, and I was like, I just can't. I can't. I will say credit to Brittany finally for getting Cruz out of the house before we do this, so we don't have to pan the camera over to him and see how this is affecting him in real time.
Yeah.
Because that sucked. But this is a let's set some boundaries with Cruz conversation. Okay? And Brittany in the confessional says that Jax has been angry at her for rehab. Further proof that this treatment facility he went to did not work by any means. You want more proof? He is trying so hard to get Brittany to say that anybody missed him on the Hawaii trip.
Yeah.
None of this is self-reflective.
Yeah, that was insane. And I do think, obviously, it was preemptive getting Cruz out of there. And at the end of the scene, when Jax is talking about how Cruz isn't around or whatever it might be, and she says, I got him out of here because I knew how this conversation would go. I have some slight hope that Brittany knew that she was actually going to go off on Jax.
I think that she
needed to.
She definitely needed to. We at home needed her
to see it. Yeah.
But I think that it's further proof that she's actually at a place now. And this scene was very convincing. I do believe this is her actual feelings.
Yeah.
She's finally at a place where she doesn't care anymore.
Right.
Like, she still loves him, which you can tell, and that's painful for her.
He tried to bait her so many times. She was yelling at him, but she wasn't falling for that bait.
No, she was doubling,
talking about the
down.
Pictures being taken down. Like, why would you take the pictures down? He was baiting her to try to be like, oh, yeah, I'm completely over you and I want nothing to do with you. She says that, but in a much more eloquent way, in a much more, like, impactful way.
Exactly. It hits a lot harder the way that she goes about it. But I was just, and I shouldn't be shocked anymore by the things he says, but I still am, because it's just so ridiculous to me that somebody claiming to be in recovery is going to revert back to all of these things. It's literally against everything that we're taught in rehab. And he's like, you know, Brittany has the upper hand, so I'm just trying to play nice. It's like, no, that's the wrong way to look at it. You fucked up your whole life and your relationship with your son, so you should be doing whatever you can to get back in Brittany's good graces so she trusts you with her kid. But that's fine. We can keep playing like she's the problem, whatever. And then he wants to go for you're just going to throw 10 years down the drain. No, you threw 10 years up your nose. That's what happened. And then you had a chance to fix it. How many chances did he have?
Every opportunity.
Every opportunity, to the point where even after throwing tables and furniture at your wife, she was still hoping you go to rehab and get better so you could get back together. That didn't happen. And now you're out here in the streets blaming her, saying that she's keeping you from her kid. There's sad music behind you when you're saying that. Fuck these producers and editors. That's crazy talk that you're even trying to garner sympathy.
Should have been triumphant music.
It should have been. Or like clown music.
He gets no music. Yeah, he gets clown music, and then she gets triumph music.
That would have been much better. And he brings up the divorce. It says, you still good on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
This just goes to show you exactly where his mind frame is. He's thinking deep down, much like he did their entire relationship. It's not final.
Yeah, I still got a chance.
I bet you he probably took that information from Jesse about how Michelle filed incorrectly, and he's like, oh, maybe Brittany did that.
Check those papers.
Yeah, let me go check those. Maybe I could do that, so I could just continuously do this. That could be a good move. Like, that's how he thinks, and he really does think that it's never over.
100%. And I'm confused by the protection. And this, if it is what I think it is, and it's further damning evidence against Jeremiah Penis Nose and Alex Bagskin. But we get a clip of 5 days post rehab, and I was also confused about the setting. It looks like she's in bed, getting out of bed, and Jax is there.
Yeah,
he was fully clothed. I'm not saying they boinked. It just seemed more intimate of a setting than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's anything there. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm painting a picture for you guys at home.
Yeah.
But she calls him out for drinking. He's out of rehab for 5 days. He's been going to Jax's every night since he got out.
Yep.
And he's pulling a head of the hospital from Grey's Anatomy. I don't know if you saw those episodes. But he's asking them, or was it Dr. House? Was it House or was it Grey's Anatomy? It doesn't matter. He was telling the bartender to pour vodka on the rocks and pretending like he's drinking water.
Yeah.
Which is just absolutely insane.
I actually thought of Shannon Bedore, but yeah, go on.
That too. That would be a more relevant reference for sure. But that's insane. That's crazy. You're out of rehab for 5 days and you've drank every night seemingly, pretending that the alcohol is something else. You've literally learned nothing, and you relapsed the second that you got out, and your response to hiding drinking at the bar, telling people it's water, is to tell Brittany, I didn't go to rehab for alcohol. Or mental health facility. I went for my mental health, whatever.
Well, I think that it still just goes to show you that, like, we can't believe that he was even there for the whole time.
No.
Because I think that's very early on in your diagnosis is, hey, you know, there's something deeper here. You're using the alcohol, you're using the drugs for things, But the alcohol isn't the problem up front. He's like, oh, great. So either
Sick.
he just turned his brain off and he's like, cool, I can't wait to get out of here and start drinking again and telling everybody that alcohol is not my problem. Or he wasn't there the whole time and he left immediately. And he's like, cool, I got the answers that I needed. It's my anger, guys.
It's anger and mental health
As long as
problems.
I'm a happy drunk, I'm okay.
That's what he took from it.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right, because that's what they tell you. The alcohol is the symptom of something deeper that pushed you into the bottle.
Yeah.
He heard that and said, I'm not an alcoholic.
Great.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
And I think that everything that he's doing, and going back to the scene with Jesse, where he talks about how, all I really want to do, like, I'm just hanging out here. I could just go down to the bar and just get shit-faced and just not worry about it.
Do that.
That was a test. He's just testing the waters to see what people say back to that. And at some point, some people are going to say, I don't give a fuck what you do. He's going to take that as, okay, cool, approval.
Yeah, we're cool.
All right, great. I'm actually going to get out of here right now.
I'm cool. You're cool. We're cool. You want to drink with me? JK?
Yeah.
Unless you're serious.
Yeah.
High five.
But now it just perplexes me anyway. And I've not gotten into the habit of trying to understand what Jax is saying and what he's doing, because I probably never will. But he's going out there now currently saying, and on Watch What Happens Live and on different podcasts and all this shit, talking about how his only regret is that the marriage lasted longer than it should have. And it's like, okay, so you're not even talking about Cruz. You're not talking about anything that you're talking about on the show currently. You're saying that you didn't want the marriage to last as long. You should have gotten out of there sooner. Brittany should have gotten out of there sooner, depending on how you want to phrase it. That's your regret. But here we're watching you essentially second guess her opinion on divorce.
You're begging. He's begging.
Yeah, like you're begging to stay together. It's got to be financial, I would imagine. That's the only thing I can
Definitely.
think
He
of.
lets it slip during the
security,
scene.
it's financial. You were probably cheating on her the whole time, and you got away with it for so long that it works.
Yep.
Why change it? Why if it's not broke, don't fix it,
That's his vibe, but I'm so glad that Brittany stood 10 toes down. She's standing on business. I love the line where she's like, Cruz is not coming to your house anytime soon. I don't trust you. I don't trust that there's not going to be nasty women over there. And then she just looks at him. This was so satisfying. She's like, you're so gross. Like, you're just disgusting. I was like, finally.
There you go.
Oh, that felt so good.
See it.
Yeah, and
That weird glow that he had while you were married to him is completely gone.
Yep.
He's just a sweaty piece of shit.
Exactly. But watching her get to that, it's taken so fucking long to get there. But watching that realization finally set in was genuinely satisfying. And then he realizes, and you see it happen, he realizes he's not cracking through. And he stands up and goes, well, I just came over to set boundaries for Cruz. Like, why are you yelling at me? Why are you trying to destroy the father of your child?
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious, guy? You destroyed yourself.
He's trying to pity party.
He's trying
What
to
he wants. He's trying to make himself look better. I came over here. We have two people that had different agendas here. Brittany, I'm not really sure if it was like premeditated that she was going to go off on him, but I think she was allowing herself to do that.
Yeah.
And she knew that was going to happen, or it was going to turn into a screaming match. So get Cruz out of here. Fine. Jax came over with the intention of not being the one to yell.
Yes.
Not being the one to raise it. Just trying to stay level-headed so that if Brittany were to do this, then he can paint her as crazy.
Points the finger at her.
Points the finger at her. He tried every trick in the book. The problem was that Brittany was making too much sense, even to Jax.
Which is
his dumb brain. Somehow it got through to him. And he's like, fuck, this isn't going anywhere. And she's making a ton of sense. She's being poignant. It makes sense to me. That's a problem. I don't know what to do. And he starts spiraling.
He did. Yeah. He literally started spiraling. And
I love the good old fashioned walk away, but not really walk away.
Walk away, walk back.
I'm going to go sit on the bench in the hallway.
2 times that happened. Walked out, walked back, walked out, sat on the bench to finish this conversation with her. And you get more of him blaming her. He's talking about her holding the anger over him and using it as a weapon to not see your kid. And this drives me fucking insane. And I'm going to pull from personal experience a little bit, because when my shit got really bad, I didn't see my daughter for 6 months. And I will live with that for the rest of my life. The thing that got me through rehab and helped me stay sober was the second that I got out, I knew one thing and one thing only, is that I had to fix my relationship with my daughter, who was 2 at the time, which is a blessing because she doesn't have to remember that side of me. And I wanted to get straight to building that relationship and fixing all of that and getting her back in my life. That's all I fucking thought about. So that's the difference. And I didn't at any point blame anybody else but myself for the situation that I was in. I fucked it all up. I got to fix it now. Pull up your bootstraps and let's get to fucking work. This guy wants to go do everything else, start drinking again, point the finger at his ex-wife who he abused for years emotionally and physically, to the point that she is in tears anytime that he's brought up. And he wants to point the finger at her instead of at any point stopping and looking in the mirror and going, you know what? Maybe I should tone it down. Maybe I should leave the show if I really care about my son. Hunker down, do the work so that I can be in his life instead of trying to come up with excuses time and time again why it's not his fault, how other people are keeping him from his son, how his marriage was destroyed 10 years down the drain because his wife quit on it, rather than I pushed her so far and she gave me 600 chances to fix it. And now I'm fixing it, Brittany. I'm going to therapy. I'm taking my medication. Yeah. It's way too late for that. It's so tough for me personally to watch this and to know that there's producers that are trying to paint this in a redemption arc light, knowing what I went through and had to go through and how hard that was for me. And this guy has no fucking clue. And yet he wants to take that badge of honor of going to fix himself for his kid when he actually didn't do any of it.
No,
and
he didn't do any of it, and he doesn't care, and it's very apparent. And I think the line that hit the most for the audience, and probably hit Jax the most, was Brittany saying, "I don't want Cruz to grow up like you."
Boom.
And you don't want Cruz to grow up like you.
That was the
thing that finally hit him, and he's like, "Fuck."
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe deep down there might be a semblance of a human being somewhere in there, because I think that actually landed on him.
That hit him, and I think the initial comment of, "I don't want him to turn out anything like you," stung. I think it was full bore after she said, "And you don't want that either." And Jax went, "Fuck me.
Yep.
I gotta go.
Fuck me. I hate myself."
Yep, I'm leaving. See you later. I can't do this
He also
anymore.
tried to sneak in, which we haven't seen since VPR. This is like just as bad as when my dad died.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we heard that one too.
Oh, I haven't heard that one in a while.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. It's so dumb. It's all of your own doing. And God, it felt really good again when Brittany's like, "You know what? I can't even look at you. I can't look at you." And he's like, "Why?
Yeah,
Why do you think, bitch? Get out of the house. See ya. Bye."
I do.
Again, don't let the door hit you in your fat head on the way out, you piece of taint.
Piece of taint?
Yep.
All right.
Let's get to some questions.
Oh, here you go. From Steph Rossler RD. Is it just me, or does the ring tattoo just solidify that Jason did something?
Exactly.
Here it goes. You didn't like the comments before. You're not going to like them now.
God, I love our audience.
God. Oh, here's a hot take.
Hey, now.
Fine basement flowers and it cuts off. Hot take. Do we actually want Jax to leave? He brings the drama and chaos. I don't know. Mixed feelings. Yeah, I mean, we do ultimately want Jax to leave. If you need any evidence, go back to Hawaii when he wasn't present.
Great episode.
It went back to being a pretty good show, at least. A lot more comments about Jason's ring tattoo than Jax. That's
Love
lovely.
that.
I did want to put a disclaimer like, hey, we are going to talk about Jax being kicked off the show, so you don't really have to ask us those questions, but you guys kind of got the point.
As you guys always do. That's why we love you. That's why we're all here.
Is Jason getting a tat proving that he's a total bitch boy?
Yes.
From Beck Gibbo.
Yep.
Oh, here you go. From Petra Van. Was Jax re-gifting Schwartz's orchid to Luke? I think so. I really do. There's no chance that Jax went to a fucking flower shop.
No.
Got an orchid.
No, unless he was at like a gas station buying a pounder and there was like those random ones by the front door.
Ooh. From Angie Fox. Could Jax be coaching Janet and Jason behind the scenes? It might explain their loyalty. That's a possibility. I wouldn't put it past.
How dumb. But they don't strike me as dumb people. And that would be one of the dumbest moves he could do.
Janet's already watched all the game tape anyway. She's
a fan.
Who knows? This is funny. From Helen J. Harm. Theory is Jax doesn't have a driver's license. We never see him drive except for the golf cart. It's probably suspended.
Might be suspended. Yeah, we haven't ever seen him drive.
That's a really good point.
Oh, wow. Wow.
From Eliza Taylor, will Bravo edit Jax out of the Valley reunion since it's already filmed? I really hope so. No, there's no chance.
No, it's his final farewell. He's going to be back in some capacity, not on TV, but he's going to make a loud splash trying to do something.
Oh, he's going to do so many dumbass podcasts. He's going to do a watch party Valley podcast probably.
More than likely at Jax's.
You can't stop a podcast. You can cancel his tour if you're, a venue or whatever, but if he's got a podcast, he's going to do it. And there are, unfortunately, a lot of Bravo people, bloggers, and content creators that will listen for the sake of hot takes.
Don't give him the numbies. He doesn't deserve it.
Oh, I really hope this isn't true, but from Lay Fletch Purrs, do you think that Sheena and Lala may come into play more so that Janet gets some backup?
Yes, I do. I've
We haven't
thought
seen
that.
Lala in like 6 weeks.
No, I don't know. How many episodes do we have left? Maybe
One.
3? Oh, 1.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I thought.
Finale next week.
Okay. I have a very bad feeling that the departure of Jax means a lot more
Yeah, they're gonna
Sheena,
try to plug
Lala,
in the VPR
and
people.
Schwartz next season. Which, look, getting Jax off the show is hard enough. I don't want them to shoot the show in the foot immediately after finally getting rid of him. I don't know. They're definitely going to make moves like that. You can expect at least one of them to be full-time next season. That's my hot take.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the friend of role is going to ramp up a little bit because they're going to have to fill that void. And how do you fill that void? They're going to go back to what they always do and just pull somebody that they know already that we don't want to see, but they don't give a fuck, and they're going to shove them down our throat. That's what's going to happen.
That's a really good point. Yeah, all these comments are really just about the ring tattoo. Good job, guys.
You guys get it.
Nothing else, though. So we'll end it there.
Yeah. That felt good. I don't know. I felt like I released tension watching this episode and talking about it as well. It was like the final, I think Jax is really almost gone.
Feel like he took a huge shit.
Like 2 of them.
2?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I've been eating a lot of protein lately, so, it's a little stuffed up. What?
Too graphic.
Oh, my bad, guys.
For our audience.
Well, I like to be open and honest with our audience, so
Good job.
just telling you where I'm at, everybody. But that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
Well, that's our show. These bros got to go.